Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and today this is a first for the channel. This is the first time that I can remember that I'm reviewing one of these figures. This is the G.I. Joe classified Alvin Breaker Kibby. Truthfully, don't know who this is. Never, really cared to. If you guys want to scan that barcode for anything, feel free to. A little bit of the back art, really cool. Garbly Gloop and other junk like that. But the main reason why I picked this figure up was because a friend of mine, excuse me, told me that, hey, this kind of looks like you, and didn't really see it until I saw the side art. Like, I mean, if you just take that away, like, that really does look a lot like me in the eyes, and, like, I will, turn my camera around just so you guys can kind of see. Anyway, hi. Bit of a weird one, but yeah, kind of. I mean, kind of looks like me from the side. Like I mostly just see it in the eyes, if I'm honest, which pretty cool. So, in truth, if you really wanted to get, an Uncle Carnage action figure, this is probably the closest we will ever get in our existence. Again, Alvin Breaker Kibby, which very badass. Like really cool. Like I've only had him for a few days, but I mean he's genuinely really fun. Let me just get all the accessories together and then, kind of show you guys what he's about. Now, for the accessories that I'm just kind of about, he has this like wire that hooks up to his backpack, which goes in that port right there. Which I mean, pretty alright. It's not my favorite thing, but whatever. And then he came with what I'm assuming is like cement uh, in a jar or something. Like I don't know what Kibby does, so not so sure what that is. But he also does come with a couple pretty cool accessories that I thought were pretty decent. He comes with this little tiny knife, which very cool. I really do like the detailing on this. That's very cool. And then he also did come with a pistol. And the cool thing about the pistol, the silencer is actually removable. And I mean, just in general, this looks like a very, very awesome looking pistol. It does have an extended clip, which is even more badass. And a little better look of it, kind of close up. I do think a gunmetal wash would look very good on this, but I'm not going to do that just because it's not the biggest gripe to me. But I know some people want to do that. And then here's a better look at the alternate head. It comes with a little bit of a better look at what the head looks like. This is his bubblegum blowing face, which the bubblegum looks very cool. This is the second figure that I can really think of that's had a bubblegum effect. The first one being Jubilee from the Caliban wave, and then his helmet, which is actually removable, and you can actually put it on, lots of other figures. Like, for example, if you wanted Homelander with a helmet, you know, there you go. Now he's Helmet Lander because he's special. Anyway, uh, let's just get right into our boy, Mr. Kibby. Now, like I've mentioned, I've only had this guy for, a few days, but I mean, I'm actually really in love with this. This is definitely a very fun figure to play with. I've been enjoying him quite a bit. Very good range of motion, definitely very fun. Not really too much else to say. Very good detailing all over the figure. Really do like the pants. The pants are definitely, bit of its reuse, I'm pretty sure, from like other G.I. Joe figures because they're basically kind of all on the same type of body, I think. Uh, and this was a really cool thing. I really do like this little pin pad thing where he, just looks for whatever he needs. And then, the little thing on his chest that actually has his first initial and last name, and then E4, which is pretty cool. And then, little button right there on the side with a star, pretty cool. And then the weird thing, which didn't make a lot of sense to me, but his knife kind of goes right there. But I mean, it makes sense. Like in an emergency, you just like that. And it does work the other way. So if you want to have him go like that with it. But, I think it's supposed to go like that. But still a bit of a unique place for that kind of thing, in my personal opinion. But, other than that, like, I'm genuinely in love with this figure. Pretty cool. That's where the silencer goes, and that's where the, pew pew goes, and then backpack kind of ports into that hole, which, pretty cool. But anyway, going back to the face, like, I mean, if you really look at it, that looks an exceptional amount like me. Like, especially in the eyes, which is very scary. I mean, the eye color, bit different because my eyes are uh, considered hazel because I have more green in mine. Going a little in depth in that, but, whatever. But anyway, going on to, like, articulation, doesn't really look up too much. Head, not really great at that. Looking down does way better. I'm assuming it's because of, his collar right there, because I know the neck also moves too. It's on like that ball hinge in the neck. He does have butterfly joints, which always great. 90 degree with the arm, full 360 with that, double jointed elbows, and then, on this hand, it only goes up and down, which, that's probably the one where he's pistol-handed, or, going to have a pistol, which, pretty cool because, I'm also right-handed, so that's pretty cool. He does have, that ball in the hips, which is, pretty standard. He kicks out... Damn. Like, why don't Marvel Legends have this kind of articulation? Like, this is made by Hasbro. Like, those kick out super far. They kick back even further. Like, does he have dropped... I didn't even know he had drop-down hips. Yeah, G.I. Joes are definitely where all of Hasbro's money is going into. I am calling it right now. Like, I'm not even a G.I. Joe guy, but these are phenomenal. He does have upper leg movement, double jointed knees, even a boot swivel, which I was so happy about that, and then ankle pivot, which it's a bit stiff, I will say, but, still very good. And I didn't mention this, but I mean the detailing on the boots too, my god, that is beautiful looking. But yeah, let me just get a handful of figures for you, and I'll do some comparisons. Anyway, I know I said comparisons, but this is something I kind of, just thought of. I wanted to see if the Infinity Gauntlet would work on him, and it does. And but I should mention the watch is not removable unless you, like cut it off. But it still fits on, and looks pretty decent. There's a hair, but yeah, just something I thought I'd let you guys know in case you have the Infinity Gauntlet. So first up for comparisons, thought I'd show him next to a couple of my favorite Marvel Legends. Here we have him next to the 2-pack Punisher, which is still genuinely the greatest Punisher of all time. And I'm not going to change Red Guardian's pose, but, pretty good. And these two are roughly about the same height. He's just a smidge bit bigger, which is pretty cool. And, I would say you could probably head swap them, but, his neck peg, a little too small for that, and it's a little, like, awkwardly shaped on the inside, but, you can at least set it on top, from what I've noticed, so that's still pretty cool. Here he is next to, one of my favorite cartoon characters as a kid, Shaggy Rogers, and this is the newest, one of the newer miscellaneous figures for my collection. This is the Jada Toys Shaggy Rogers, which, so excited they started doing these because can't wait for, the Shaggy, Freddy, Velma, Daphne. Yeah, I think I named all of them. If I missed any, just let me know in the comments. Here he is next to my favorite DC character at the moment, Peacemaker. And Peacemaker, as you can see, really big compared to him, because this is 7-inch scale, which kind of a reason why I don't really like getting, any McFarlane stuff, unless it's like a character that's supposed to be big. And then next to someone I've actually met in real life, Anthony Starr, aka Homelander. Here we have him next to the Mafex Homelander, which is funny because me and Anthony Starr are the same height, and these two are the same height too. So that's kind of funny that that's a thing. And then next one up, which is one of the cooler ones in my collection, here he is next to the Izzy Art, or IZ Art, I mean. I keep saying Izzy. IZ Art Omni-Man, which, again, shout out to him for, letting me buy this. I would say making it and giving it to me, but he originally made it for himself, and he just sold it to me. But again, shout out to you, Izzy. Super, super grateful for that. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys. So, like I said, if you really want a, pretty awesome looking Uncle Carnage in your collection, I do recommend getting this. Again, head swaps might be a little difficult because of that, but, regardless, generally a very fun figure if you just wanted, like, a standard, like, army character. Because, when you put that on, he's basically just a soldier. So, very awesome figure. Couldn't recommend this more than enough. And I know, at least at the Target I went to, he was 15% off. So, hopefully, you guys get at least a little bit of a deal with him. But, yeah, not much else to say other than check this figure out if you're curious. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching. And as both me and my tiny, counterpart here would say, peace out.